Okay. Had me up there, took me down, had me up there. I don't know what's up with StreamYard tonight. Oh, man. All right. Yes, things have been rather hectic around here, but I'm not sure what in the heck is up with this thing here. I was up to had it all set up. All of a sudden, it wasn't sharing the screen. It wasn't doing this. Yeah. Anyways, how's everybody doing out there? First one in was Rebel Canners, then Ada Near, then Diana 2, and then Hendrix. Okay, so, all right. Let's see, make sure I got everything over there. Okay, all righty. So, tonight's topic is a pipe dream for a lot of people. It's a goal dream for others. It's yeah, I need those. I know what's coming. I need those. And some of you already have horses, and there's a whole spectrum of what you want to be using horses for. And we're going to cover some of that. And let me see here. Actually, this is a topic I wish my dad was here for. My dad, when he was 16 years old, went to the rodeo with his cousins. As a practical joke, they signed him up for every event that they could. My dad, not being one not to back down from a challenge, went and did them all. Took first place for the rodeo. Pissed his cousins off no end. And when he found out how much he won, he goes, "Screw this! I'm dropping out of school again," because he dropped out when he was bit, and when he was 8 years old and got bit on the ankle by a rattlesnake. Dropped out again. Went on the road, and for the next 10 years was in the top 10 all-around cowboy for the nation. All right, and then he got round butt disease, which means you can't stay in the saddle. And he was the last rodeo he was working professionally was in St. George, Utah. Same time that Howard Hawks was shooting one of his westerns there with John Wayne. And as soon as it ended up, they hired a bunch of the cowboys to come out and play extras on the set. And my dad was so brown from working it out in the sun all the time, they just threw some stuff on him and put war paint on him. And he played an Indian, and he got shot several times in different costumes. So let me see, make sure everything here is working right, because I don't see anybody making any more comments. Make sure. Yeah, okay, I can hear myself. Yep, I am going out. All righty, so let's switch across here. It says we got 5 people in here watching. That's good. Let's see if we can get a few more in it. You guys can go ahead. And I hate it. StreamYard, they made it where it doesn't reset after every live stream, and so they keep saying whatever you saved on the last one. So they used to be really nice. It would automatically reset the banners and stuff to nothing, and you had to set something up. All righty, so let's go over here, boom, and go to the next one here. Oh, one thing I really don't like about this thing, they left an important American horse off of here, the Morgan horse. And the Morgan horse we'll get to it here in hands high here in a minute. But okay, so the Morgan horse is about the same height as the Arabian. And it's a working horse. All righty. So can everybody hear me? Someone make a comment. We can hear you. I'm just interested if I'm going out there doing sound or not. I'm not getting anybody saying we can't hear you, so I'd like someone to say, yes, we can hear you. All right. So horses are measured by hands, not by inches. A hand is here, and it, depending on the general hands, it can be one hand is about 4 inches. And so one hand 4 inches, measuring across from top to bottom there. And it's not measured to the top of the head. it's measured to what's called the top of its withers, which is just at the back, just as it starts to come up to the shoulder blades up there. So, all right. Someone else just came in. Welcome, whoever it is. Yeah, I can see counts of people watching. So, yeah, horses do everything from miniature horses up to Clydesdales and even bigger. But there's different things they can be used for. This is a farm horse or a plow horse or a draft horse. They pull the heavy stuff. And as some people on my other channel would say, oh yeah, when we have where they're bought and sold in guineas. Cool. Oh, I'm going to try something here, see if it'll work. I tried it last night. There we go. And there we got some comments popping up on the side there. Actually, come on, let me see. Is it okay? It's on there, big font. Now some of you should be able to read it a little bit better. All right, now that it reset that, but it didn't reset the banner going across the bottom. So I don't know what's up with this thing. Anyways, draft horses are or were the backbone of the American agricultural industry from the time of prior to the Revolutionary War. Okay, come on. Okay, this is the tallest horses in the world. The Shire is number 1. The Clydesdale's number 2. The Percheron is number 3. Belgian Draft, Suffolk Punch, Australian Draught, the Dutch Draft. I can't pronounce number 8. Number 9 is the American Cream Draft, and the 10 is the Jutland. Now I've heard of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. So, all right. Hang on, I just got a text. Yep, the staff sergeant has made it home. She left this morning here at 4:23 Mountain Time, and it's now 6:13. So she took her just about. She stopped at Sam's Club for milk and pizza. So it took her about 12 and a half hours. Sam's Club's close there. All right. So, yeah. And these are going back further in Europe, draft horses were bred to carry knights in armor for all that muscle to be able to carry them. So let's go on to the next one here. In America here, we have all sorts of horses for other than draft. Most notably is cowboy horses. And this is a barrel racer. My sister, who's 10 years older than me, used to barrel race till she got married. And there are several breeds that are used for barrel racing. My sister rode a quarter horse because that's what my dad rode for all around. And besides barrel racing, my sister also did team roping too, which is a good quarter horse sport. And there's just regular calf roping. If you have cattle and stuff, you want a good quarter horse or a Appaloosa / quarter horse. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. And this one's for cutting. Cutting is when you're trying to remove a calf from the big herd or another cow from the big herd to either sell it or to separate it. So you have all the, the one go in the one and keep all the younglings over in another pasture or whatever. And if you watched Yellowstone, you probably saw a little bit of this too. Then there are trail horses. we had two trail horses growing up. One was Buster. That was mine and my brother's. The other horse we had was my mom's, which was called Star Baby, an Appaloosa Morgan Cross that had one blue eye, one green eye, and anybody over the age of 10 couldn't get near it. Well, they couldn't. They could get near it, maybe get it saddled up. My dad and his best friend got it saddled up. When they bought it, it was not broke. They tried breaking it. My dad broke a lot of horses. He almost got broke by Star Baby. When George got on it, the horse sat down and walked backwards, so his back was nearly vertical. My sister could get up in the saddle, but if you tried to make the horse move, the horse would buck it off. Myself and my baby brother, who's 2 years younger than me, we would sit on the fence railing of the corral, and Star Baby would come over to us, and we'd pet it and stuff. We'd hug it and stuff. We'd lay on its back, not sitting. Star Baby would look around, look at us, and walk around the corral once and make us get off. But if Star Baby hadn't able to broke, my Star Baby would have been a trail horse. There are plenty of ads out for them and stuff. Quarter horses are great all-around working horses. This is an Appaloosa. This is Prince Plaudette, still alive, born in 1963. I did some extra research on it again. I actually got to ride him once, and when I was back in Pennsylvania, northwest of Punxsutawney is where the ranch was at. And me and my friend were up there, and he was still when he came out there, he was still a cowboy, and he schmoozed, and he got us both to be able to ride on it once around the arena and get off it. At that time, Prince Plaudette was out for stud services, had been for several years. But Prince Plaudette is a Appaloosa quarter horse mix. Daddy was an Appaloosa, Mama was a quarter horse. And I think that's what I got on there. So I'll come back here. And wow. Still got 5 people watching, but not many comments. Horses, for me, I want to get I would like to get a couple Morgans and a couple of quarter horses. Morgans to work with my grandsons to teach them responsibility, and if they screw around, a horse will step on your foot if you're screwing off with it. A horse is not stupid. Horses are smart. If you're screwing around on it and doing crap you're not, a horse will walk underneath a low-hanging branch to get you off its back. It'll walk over and brush its side against the barn to get you off. Now, big horses like the Clydesdale and Percheron, those are the most docile horses around. I'm trying to remember the movie where they used them for riding horses in. It was back in the 70s. And there was an article on it, and the riders that were riding it had ridden other horses, and they said they were the most fantastic horses to ride. And while they were on set, when they between shots, some kids came out there and got through, and were walking up or walking around the horse. The horse just stood perfectly still when it looked down. Okay. Just stood there and waited till someone came over and drug the kids off, and then the horse would move. But they are very, the draft horses are very aware of what's around under them and stuff at times. But I'd like to get a couple Morgans to get my grandsons there trained up to and riding and stuff. Danny wants to do rodeo. He wants to do barrel racing, and he wants to do team roping and bulldogging. You know, catching a cow, a steer, and bringing it down. So far, that's what he wants to do. It may change, but horses in a end of the world as we know it situation where the power's gone out and there's no more gas and diesel coming. Horses can pull buggies, wagons to load stuff on. We're going to go back to the old West days for getting supplies around and stuff, and getting people around too. So, any questions out there? Nope, lost one. Not sure who dropped off. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but yeah, horses, yay or nay for me. It's something that I want to get, but right now, until I get everything else done on the property, both properties. CB is in the house. Hey, CB. So if you have any questions about, you know, how much acreage you need or whatever, you know, I can let you know that. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that anyways. So when I was growing up, we had 1.25 acres. On it, we had just about at all times, we had 2 horses, Buster and Star Baby. And my sister's horse would I can't remember its name. It would be there for a while. Then she took it over to her friend's house, and they're over there, and she would go riding over there because they had a bigger corral for practicing barrel racing than we had. So it spent most of its time over there. And a couple times my dad had a quarter horse there that he was taking care of for somebody else. And so he'd go out there riding, had us riding it a little bit. But so on 1.25 acres, the back half of the property was where we had the corral and the horses at. Now we had in the barn, we had hay, and horses had enough room for them to go around. We had 2 lean-to pole barns put up. And when it rained, they would go into those, and the rest of the time, they spent most of the time out in the sun. Up here in Idaho, if we get horses, I would have to get something a little more substantially protected for the winter for them. But that's one of the things we're kind of thinking about. One of the things we're going to do is there is 2 horsemanship schools around, and one's up in Shelley, one's up in Idaho Falls, and we'd probably next summer, if the staff sergeant approves it, I'm going to put Danny and Oliver into some classes to learn how to ride. Cool. Now, I don't know how froze. How many people saw the movie Sergeant York? Because in that one, it shows his beginning in the Appalachian Mountains there and stuff. He had the plow horse, and he was then plowing. He'd ride the plow horse into town or to the state line, where he could go across the state line where it was because the state he was in was a dry state, and across the state line was a wet state. And actually, the bar was built on state line, so they could only drink on one half of the bar. But some horses had to be multi-use for both plowing and riding, and pulling a buggy or single horse pulled wagon, to go in town, load up on supplies on and bring it back out. Cool. Yeah, I don't think my grandson Eli, he may or may not get frustrated around a horse. We'd have to see. Excellent. I learned a new word today. Thank you, CB. No questions, anybody? We lost another one. Now we're down. Came back up when CB came in, went down another one. Well, it looks like tonight's going to be a short night. If nobody has questions or okay, feeding. You can't feed a horse a straight alfalfa diet. Usually they feed some alfalfa and oat hay. Oat hay is a little bit different. The alfalfa has too much. Dang, I forgot it. See if I save that here. Escape. Come on, there we go. Get rid of that down. Did I save that page? I did not save that page. All right, so I'm going to look it up again. Just so you guys know, because we had 2/3 oat hay and 1/3 alfalfa in our barn. Okay, DI. Spell out alfalfa. Okay. Come on, AI, bring it up again. Okay, so alfalfa is like a nutrient-dense steak, it says. And oat hay is more like a carbohydrate-rich cereal. With the best choice depending on the animal stages of life, its needs, its activities. So let me try to get the picture going again. There we go. Take it back to the set. There. Okay, now I'm back again. Not sure when I was reading off of here. Yeah, I froze. Yeah, so I'm not sure what part I froze on, but it said alfalfa is a protein-rich legume high in energy, calcium, and lecithin, ideal for growing or lactating animals, but potentially too rich for mature horses. Oat hay is a grain hay, lower in protein and energy, but higher in starch/sugars and fiber, often used for mature animals needing more. That was just a different type of freeze. Or as a palatable mix, but generally not sold that. Like we had 2/3 oat hay and 1/3 alfalfa, and so we pull off appropriate chunks and put it in their manger there for them to eat. And so typically, alfalfa hay is a legume, not a grass. High energy can lead to weight gain, high calcium phosphorus ratio balance with and needs to have other foraging with it if they're out in the wild. Oat hay, any benefits, it provides energy for mature, it's often cheaper. Starchy may not be metabolic slash insulin resistant horses, generally a better mix of other hays, but not as a sole feed. And I'm going to check something up here. There's another one called Timothy hay or grass, low in protein, starch, high in fiber. Timothy hay is best for herbivores, rabbits, guineas, and horses, or guinea pigs and horses as a daily staple. Supports dental. So you might, there's some other hays and stuff out there that you may find at work, good for your horses or doing it. And like I said, for a variety, offer both mixed grass hays and a little alfalfa, alternating type for balanced nutrition. But ensure that grass hay remains the bulk for adults, says the Oxbow Animal Health Institute. Oh yeah, absolutely. For those that are interested in not wanting to have a horse but having a horse experience, I'm going to see if I can bring it up here. YouTube. Come on. And you bring up another channel here for you guys. SILB Silver Spur. Silver Spur Ranch, Idaho. And let me bring this up here for you guys. So that's their logo there on it. And they do horse drives during the summertime, spring and summer. And you can get on it and you can sign up for it. And you're there for a week. I think it's a week, maybe it's 2 weeks. And they push the horses from one up to the other one. Next group, I guess the next group brings them back, whatever. And you get there is a whole bunch of shorts on it for it. Lots of shorts. I'm going to try playing this one. Let me get it to open in a new link here. And they have all sorts. It's called a vacation. So they're right around. So let me go back. But yeah, if you're interested in it, you can go check them out. The 2026 season is, last time I checked, was halfway booked. Some weekends are already booked out if you're interested in doing it. And they have these are all the different videos they had. This is a 22-minute video. Yeah, Weekend of Saddle experience. So they have a lot. I quit jumping around there. Yeah. And why it was acting up so much. Yeah, these are all the different videos they have on it going out there. And they got some places where they got some springs that you can sit in. And so, yeah, it's a bucket list. When my wife and I have enough money and to do that separate, and we're going to get her on writing lessons and stuff, and then we'll go do it. Of course, if we go to do that, our youngest son, who did cavalcade for the cavalcade in the Boy Scouts down at the New Mexico's Scout Ranch down there, Firman Scout Ranch. he was down there for 10 days doing the cavalcade, right? So they'd ride out. The first couple of days, they were in to make sure everybody was trained up and stuff. Then they rode out, camped, broke camp, rode to the next campsite, and they rode around the place down there. All right, everyone. It looks like we're dropping more people. I covered just about everything since nobody's asking questions. We're going to wrap it up here. What's coming up here tomorrow for Survival Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, noon Mountain Time. Shadow Scouts Suite is going live. I'll be on there. Mark from Chef Tex and Mad Chick Acres is going to be on there as well. The topic is it's about banking. It's what if the banking system totally collapses or something. Hang on, let me get it here for you. Anyways, after that one, I'll be going 2 hours after that one's done at 8 o'clock Eastern. I'll be going live with mine. COU Shadow Scout Suite. All right, get his up here. And his is, the banks just failed. Now what? So that's the topic for Shadow Scouts 4-hour live stream tomorrow. And then on my live stream, it's after the nuclear power plant explodes, what are your plans? And there have been a lot more kapuis at power plants than most people realize. So we'll be talking about that. Monday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound, is cream of ... soups. So we're talking about different, all the different creams of soups, which ones you can, which ones are better being frozen and defrosted and cooked up, which ones are better just getting everything dry so you just add liquid to it when you're to cook it. So that'll be there. Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping is backup lighting. Have several. And we're going to talk about things with backup lighting. Thursday is the midnight ride at 10 o'clock Eastern PM. And then next Friday here is what is the hardest part of gardening for you? So that's what we'll be talking about next next Friday. All right, everyone. Take care and learn how to ride a horse. That's a skill everybody should have just for emergencies. All right. Take care, and I'll see you around.